Last section of Chapter 4. See example page 125. However, once a visitor starts the checkout process, the navigation is replaced with a simplified header shown here. Only information relevant to the transaction is included in the new navigation. Everything else is removed. If your landing page is designed for a single conversion action, you should not use the navigation or page structure from your main corporate website. You should remove the navigation completely, or limit it to specific information related to your conversion action. This is especially the case if you are paying for the traffic stream directly, e.g., via PPC or banner ad purchases. In such cases, I often recommend removing the navigation altogether. Sometimes you may still want to have your logo link back to your main site. But you should realize that this is a potential traffic leak, and that some people will wander off to your main site to never return. If you feel that your main site contains content that is necessary for the conversion action, you should copy it onto the landing page or a supporting page on your standalone microsite. Do not link off to the main site for such supporting information. Forms should also be ruthlessly edited. A long and imposing form will turn many people away. The value of the incremental information gathered in a longer form will rarely outweigh the benefit of having many more people completing the process. Clarify forms with a headline or description. Shorten form label text as much as possible. Organize form fields into logical groups. Eliminate any strong horizontal visual separators in longer forms. The most important part of form creation is minimizing the number and complexity of form input fields. As a start, you should eliminate all optional fields. Boxed content. The form field test: is this information absolutely necessary to complete the current transaction? You have to ask only for information that you need right now. Resist the temptation to ask for information that may not be needed at all, or that can be collected later in the process after you have established more trust with the visitor. It is good to avoid repeated data entry and have forms automatically uploaded into your Salesforce Automation (SFA) or Customer Relationship Management (CRM) systems. But do not insist on populating a complete record in these databases immediately. Such nice-to-have reasons do not meet the test above. Along with the number of form fields, you should also shorten all descriptive labels and explanatory text. It is also important to have a clear and concise form title. The title should describe the benefit that the visitor will accrue if they expend the effort to complete the form. One of our partners, SEM firm Agent Ready, was running a large-scale PPC campaign for a client in the debt negotiation business. Their goal was to collect qualified leads for telephone follow-up. The conversion action was the completion of the landing page form shown in Figure 4.14. See example page 127. After discussions with the client, we determined that not all of the fields on the original form were absolutely required. Many of them could be collected during the follow-up phone call. At the conclusion of our test, we ended up with a number of changes to the landing page. Among them was the newly designed form shown in Figure 4.15. As you can see, it is radically stripped down in terms of color, labels, and number of fields. As a result, it looks much less imposing and is more likely to be completed. The winning landing page in our test produced a 51% improvement in revenue per visitor over the original. The impact of this change was an estimated $48 million in additional annual revenue for the client. Don't surprise the visitor. The McAfee upsell pop-up and the overstock reconfiguring form have something in common. They are examples of last-minute surprises. And surprises are the last thing that you want your visitors to experience at the delicate point when they have finally decided to act. In fact, you should work very hard to provide context and reassurance during this critical time. Some examples of unwelcome surprises include introducing pop-ups, reconfiguring forms, making peripheral or unrelated special offers including price increases or extra terms and conditions, making changes in inventory availability or delivery dates during checkout, asking for unnecessary information, asking for information in a non-standard order, not warning people about the supporting information that they will need to have on hand in order to complete the transaction, not specifying all acceptable payment methods upfront, using non-standard or unclear text captions on your buttons. Many people already have an idea of how certain kinds of transactions should unfold. For example, when I buy from an online catalog, I expect to put items in my shopping cart, review my selections, enter billing and shipping information, and see a confirmation page for my order. Other transactions are more customized. I may not have a well-formed expectation about what actions I will be expected to take, their order, or the supporting information that I am required to have. In any case, the website should always indicate my progress during the transaction. This provides me with context and orients me by showing me where I am in the process. IntWeb allows people to get insurance comparison quotes. www.insweb.com. When I started the search for homeowners insurance, a tab-based navigation bar appeared at the top of the page. See Figure 4.16, showing me the steps in the quote process and my current position. The names on the tabs educated and reassured me about the upcoming steps. I was allowed to go back at any point by clicking on a preceding tab and review or modify the information from the previous steps. An even clearer reassurance would have been provided by a back to previous page link next to the continue button near the bottom right corner of each screen. Most transactions have a final point of "no return." Usually this involves clicking a button after filling out form information. It is critical to provide last-minute reassurances on the page where this point occurs. Final reassurances include a recap or review of the information provided to complete the transaction, items ordered, personal information, billing, and price details of the fulfillment process, e.g., service levels, delivery dates, contact methods, and time frames, terms and conditions, the fine print spelling out exactly what will happen when the action is taken on validation, and risk reducers, as discussed in the desire section earlier. The loan comparison site LendingTree.com www.lendingtree.com provides multiple loan quotes from financial institutions. After completing the multiple-page quoting process for a home equity loan, visitors are presented with the detailed terms and conditions before they act. The fine print states that the user's credit and employment history may be accessed, and that they agree to be contacted by the lenders via phone and email. Unfortunately, the button text see figure 4.17 is the same as on the previous screens. Moreover, the text of the button is save and continue, implying that this is not the last step in the process. It would be much clearer to the visitor that the final action is about to happen if the button text on this page was unique and definitive, e.g., get my quotes now. Let's take stock. You have reviewed the necessary background and learned about landing pages, audiences, and the decision process. In the next part of the book you will learn how to uncover problems with your landing page, select tuning elements, understand the math behind landing page testing, and select the proper tuning method.